Well, this is just an educated guess, but, Zima?
Zima.
Counterfeit cancer drugs?
Yeah, basically candy corn and Zima.
Fun fact, ingesting candy corn and Zima is exactly how Life Cereal Mikey died.
Which is probably why I've been in such a great mood.
Archer, no self-respecting alky would ever say they were in a good mood from drinking Zima.
We can beat cancer with this medicine.
You can't, and your first mistake was getting your drugs from a place called Neighborhood Drugstore. How many more of these Rambo moments do we need to see of the person fitting themselves with all their weapons and clothing? It's been cliched for so long, even the joke making fun of it is cliche now. Wearing sunglasses indoors.
And a knife, which I'm going to push very slowly into your urethra.
Archer is supposedly torturing this pharmacist, but all I hear is foreplay.
Seriously, these potato heads have to be the unsexiest mob of all time.
That's Irishist-ish.
You have any idea who our boss is?
Nope, but 100 people surveyed, #1 answers on the board.
I gotta tell you, if Family Feud actually played out like this, I would be the biggest Steve Harvey fan in the world.
Okay, kid.
He is a kid, Archer.
He is? He doesn't look all that much younger than this guy. And really, at what point does someone reach torture me for information years old anyhow?
Lana, you're in the isolation booth.
But why would she be in the isolation booth if you're still in the survey and steal round? Show doesn't know how to Family Feud correctly.
Ronnie Delaney! He runs everything out here in Brooklyn. Numbers, protection, dope, prostitution.
As we soon find out, he has very intimate knowledge of Archer's mom, which means Mallory should already have a good idea he's involved, and all of this torture preamble is extremely unnecessary. Oh my god, this bathroom has a metal trash can with a lid. This might be a bigger crime than switching out cancer drugs with sugar pills.
How you holding up?
Not great. As you can see, I've got wine coolers on my feet.
Wine coolers are the equivalent of what Archer was taking for chemo. What Archer was wearing are wine koozies, or as I like to call them, my koozie shoozies.
Never thought I'd say this, but I really miss the Zima.
Not as much as the makers of Jolly Ranchers do. Seriously, those sales must have gone way downhill after they stopped producing Zima. Also, make up your mind about how you feel about Zima, Archer.
I mean, was I there for every single recital and lacrosse game? No.
The writers do a fine job bringing some laughs no matter what is going on, but this is clearly the Archer goes on a chemo rampage episode, and all this Mallory ponders her mothering side quest can't help but screech things to a halt. Of course, I translated this card, and of course it says, "Good morning, I have breast cancer," and of course the show will continue to get sins off because it just can't stop making me giggle.
Because I grew up in Bristol County, Rhode Island.
And now we are on to the Krieger is a Nazi scientist C-plot. You'd think at some point shows would realize that 22 minutes isn't a ton to fill, and you actually can fill the whole thing with the same extremely interesting adventure instead of quibbing us with 3 separate plots. I'm not sure what is more sinful here, that they want us to believe Archer could fit his medical stand in Lana's tiny car, that Archer collects airplane vomit bags, or that we could still see any of that steering wheel with Lana's giant man hands are all over it. Littering and assault. Assaultering?
Yes, Archer. I saw your scarf.
Well, all my hair fell out.
On your first day of chemo?
But, it's not good, huh?
No, dear. Afraid it's just not responding to those chemo drugs.
But wouldn't the hospital realize she's not taking the right drugs? And wouldn't they also be giving her the correct drugs? I'm sure scams like this happen, but Jesus, our checks and balance system seems to be the real enemy.
Rampage!
Me trying to psych myself up for every new Rock movie.
Well, we'll just see what Ms. Archer has to say about this Nazi beeswax.
Fine. Or, not fine.
She'll probably say to use the beeswax on the surfboards because surf Nazis must die, or so I hear. Also, how could Cyril not smell the fire that Krieger has started in the stall?
You call this a hand? More like a foot.
Stupid card game puns, unless of course they actually are playing the card game hand and foot, in which case you're playing it wrong. Either way, here's your ding.
And also kidding, it's a smoke grenade.
Oh, thank God.
I realize this entire series could be subtitled They Survived This, but with that being said, they survived this.
Franny Delaney, let's take a walk.
A walk? Is that some sort of joke?
Yes, it is. Though to be honest, compared to the standards of the show, a pretty lame one.
My 15th birthday, you were at the compound.
When they finish, bring me the boy.
If he's been around Mallory since then, how is Krieger just now realizing this?
Oh, Krieger.
Nothing's an accident.
Doesn't Mallory have to press a button for this to go over the intercom like this?
I guess I've just been getting hotboxed all day in my car, which I'm trying to sell, but fat chance now. I bet it smells like weed and rampage.
And vomit. How do you forget the vomit?
Yeah. Why?
If we're watching this recording later, how did Archer get the footage to cut it together like this when he only had one camera out there and no one was controlling it? Unless the show is saying this is a fully produced movie where all the real-life people reprise their roles in exactly the same way as the reality of the show, which I guess is possible, but unlikely enough that it should be more clear if that's what they were going for, and honestly, even I'm not strong enough to continue to pretend to care if Archer actually holds up. So, here are a few more pretend sins for nothing but my own apathy.
Liked him better when he had cancer.
TV show introduces a deadly disease for a character only to magically cure him or her 2 episodes later cliché.
So shut up and watch my movie. For which I really need a better title.
Challenge accepted. Rampage story? The notorious Betty Rampage? The Rampage of Incense? Venom, let there be Rampage?
Do you have any hobbies?
I collect spores, molds, and fungus.
Make sure you click that bell icon.
Sellouts.
But clicking the little bell icon is how you make sure you get notified every time we release a video. So click it.
Sellouts.
What, Lana? I said it was a rampage.
Hell of a day, huh? Science experiments falling from the sky. Giant gorilla on the loose. Just the kind of exciting that we here at the government tend to notice.
Okay, so day 2 of the chemo-fueled rampage, and wow, how you holding up?
They went into the woods prepared to find death. What they found was a desecration of humanity at the site which trappers have often referred to as Coffin Rock.
You good?
Want the knife?
What are you doing back there?
It smells like me gold. It tastes like me gold.
I wake up early every morning and watch Regis, and that smile of his, it gets me through the day.
Is that your final answer? Goodbye, Archer. Tell your mother to give me a call sometime.
Say hi to your mother for me, okay?